Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's BayREN Codes and Standards Regional Forum on energy and material efficiency in carbon smart buildings. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over a few housekeeping items. For those of you who are signed in on the webinar, please note that you will need to enter your unique audio PIN in the right-hand corner of your screen so that later on we will have time for discussion, and those on the webinar will have their own discussion groups, so please enter that so that you can participate in that. And you can also type in questions on the questions pane of the control panel, and so that I believe we will collect that and we will make sure your questions get answered. And so while you enter in your unique audio PIN, we'll give you some time to do that. So we'll go over some of the in-person housekeeping items. So the location of the restrooms is just right around the corner. And the fire exits, actually, I believe it's right behind you. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that. So before we get started, just want to get, by show of hands, kind of understand who's in the room. So if you are, first of all, sustainability office staff, could you just raise your hands? Okay, wonderful. Building department staff. Okay, great. Building owners or managers. Okay. Consultants. Okay. And state or regional governing staff. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So just wanted to give you, for those of you who don't know who BayREN is, just wanted to give you a quick intro. So we are a collaboration of the 9 Bay Area counties working together to address energy in buildings. And so each of the counties have a representative to this BayREN group. And so I just wanted to invite the BayREN reps to stand up and introduce yourselves and which county you're in. So wonderful. So we'll talk a little bit about what programs we run in each of throughout the BayREN region. But if you're interested, especially in your county, please find your county rep and talk to them about some of the programs we run, like the trainings that we'll talk about in a few minutes. So like I said, BayREN stands for Bay Area Regional Energy Network. We are a collaboration of the 9 Bay Area counties. And as I said, we kind of operate in the intersection of a couple of things. We are helping our individual county and city governments to reduce carbon emissions, to promote healthy and energy efficient buildings, and also to build the capacity for our governments to do that through things like trainings. And so to do this, we run a couple different programs. We have a single family home upgrade program, which assists homeowners in making these upgrades, providing rebates, assistance in doing that. We also have a multifamily program called the Bay Area Multifamily Building Enhancements, essentially walking property owners through that process and also administering rebates. We're soon to start a commercial program to pay for performance program that will incentivize people to reduce energy. We have a water bill savings program. And we have the Codes and Standards program, which is the group that runs this forum. And so just to give a little bit more information about this program, I'd like to invite Karen, our Codes and Standards program manager, to come up and give a quick summary of the programs in the Codes and Standards program.
I don't know if Jeffrey mentioned that he's the lead for Alameda County, so it's important. If you're in Alameda County, talk to Jeffrey. So our Codes and Standards program focuses on two broad areas of effort: the compliance improvements, so trying to help local governments comply with the energy code. It's confusing. There's a lot of other priorities that local building departments have, so we're trying to provide tools and support for our local building departments. And also for policy, sharing best practices. We're looking at REACH codes, especially with the 2019 building code update coming into play. So I wanted to highlight a few, a few things that we have going on that might be of interest to you. One is our energy code trainings. We offer free trainings. We come to you. We have multiple topics. There are short and long versions of them. The new one we have this year is on heat pump water heaters, so it's specifically for building department staff, and talks about, what are heat pump water heaters, how are they allowed under both the 2016 code and the 2019 code. What do you need to know if you're a plans examiner or building inspector? We also have the residential ZNE for new construction. That was new earlier this year. And HERS registry, residential forms, and permit submittals for additions. And we have many more, including ones for non-residential. And there's a website, bayrancodes.org, is where you can get everything Bayran codes related. And there's information there on the full list of the trainings and how to sign up for them. We also offer a municipal ZNE assistance program. So that's to help local governments with who are interested in building zero net energy buildings. So we have a consulting firm, an engineering firm that will come out and provide free consulting services to your local government, preferably early in the process. If you've got a building that you know is going to happen, you'd like it to be ZNE, and you want a little bit of technical advice and support on how that can happen. So again, more information on the bayrancodes.org website. This is sort of coming attractions. The 2019 REACH codes, where the 2019 building code will be taking effect January 1st, 2020, and we are working with local governments to help get everything in place so that folks can adopt a REACH code to take effect at the same time as the new building code. So we're working with PG&E, we are working with a bunch of other people to make that happen, and we're going to be putting up a new web page by the end of the year with resources for local governments, links to all of the different sources that we know about. There seems to be a lot going on with REACH codes right now, so we will get that up, and you can check back at that bayrancodes.org webpage for that in the future. So that's the quick overview for codes and standards.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karen. And if you have registered, we'll let you know at the end also, but we will be sending the presentation information in the email, so don't worry about missing any of this, the slides. So just a quick disclaimer, I'll just read it. The views expressed in the presentations are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the position of the Association of Bay Area Governments, the Bay Area Regional Energy Network, or the jurisdictions that Bayran represents. Any questions pertaining to the views and information in the presentations should be directed to the authors. Wonderful. And so we'll get started. I think we're right about 9:10. So today we're here to discuss carbon smart buildings and how that affects what we do. And so our speakers today will be discussing how we use energy and materials efficiently, and also consider carbon emissions in the design and operations. Energy efficiency has already been used as a tool for greenhouse gas emissions reductions, but buildings can also be a carbon solution. So our speakers will give us a little bit more information about that and discuss some of the real life examples that we have. So today we will start with 3 presentations, and then we'll follow that with a panel discussion with question and answer. And then we'll take a short break and have discussion time to delve a little deeper into how that applies in our roles. So this morning, let me just check my notes. We'll also talk about zero net carbon in the life cycle analysis, how it applies to new construction, and how it applies to energy efficiency upgrades. So I'll turn it over to my colleague Mia from Stopways to introduce the speakers.